Good evening, sir. Nada, pues, monkeys. So, good evening, everyone. Hope my voice is audible and screen are visible to you. Good evening, everyone. Is my voice is audible and screen are visible to you? Okay. So, so what the in today's session we are going to learn a database, and with a relational database we are going to practice PostgreSQL. Okay. So I hope everyone are install PostgreSQL on your desktop or laptop. If you have issues, then please raise these issues after complete some theoretical parts. Okay. 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 So what the things we are going to learn today? Today we are going to learn relational database management system. That's within that things. I summarize that things in short. That means what is the database, purpose of database, what is the database model, types of database model, things you can do with the relational database management system. There are some terminology we need to discuss that terminology, and after that we need to discuss the structure query language. So that's uh, fundamental before a start PostgreSQL. So let's start. So let's begin that fundamental. So what is the database? So look here, when we are think about database, we need to understand what is the database. So every day, if your practice, your code, your store your file within your hard drive, right? That means hard drive are collects a number of files. There are your store music file, audio file, video file, word file, or any other extensions, right? So that's also a kind of database, but we need to discuss a database applications. So before that, a database means a storing system that collects organized data to make some work easier, like searching, structure, and extent. Within web development, most databases use a relational database management system, that's a RDBMS, to organize data and programming in structure query language. So here, most of relational database management system are uses structure query language to process the data. So how many vendors are there which are provide relational database management system applications? So there are number of, topmost is Oracle. After Oracle, there are MySQL is there. MySQL also it's also belong from Oracle. After that, there are PostgreSQL is there. Nowadays, maximum companies are adopted that PostgreSQL to store data because it's have lots of features. We are going to discuss that features later. After that, MariaDB is there. So there are a number of database applications are there which use relational database management system with a structure query language. But there are not have only RDBMS. There are NoSQL database also available. That NoSQL database is that means what? Which a data you are not stored in a tabular form. That database is called NoSQL database. That's most famous is MongoDB, Apache Cassandra, Firebase, and Redis. Here, Google, that Firebase are belong from Google, and Google always promote to use a Firebase. But companies are store their data on their own server, managed server. So that's why if you are interested in NoSQL, then MongoDB is correct. And if you are go with the relational database management system, then either you can go with Oracle or either you can go with the PostgreSQL. And PostgreSQL have a both feature. That means we can store JSON data within a PostgreSQL. So what is the purpose to use database? Look here, when you store your files within your hard drive, uh, then suppose your store number of files that maybe 1,000 of files, and you want to get that file which you are store on a specific day, then that's a complex thing to find out those files from your hard drive. If we are store that same structure within a storage facility with the application of databases, then a retrieve, modification and deletion of data, it's the easiest process. So that's why we are use a databases. So a real scenario is we are using databases for monitor sales, expenses, and other financial information. For example, nowadays we are use a phone pay, right? So within phone pay we have a history. That history are calculated our transactions. So the previous transaction are stored within a history. So it's a one kind of database, and that databases are useful to track our transactions. So that's the purpose of exam databases. So when we are think about a databases have number of models. And what means a model? That database model show the logical structure of database, that how we can store a data within that structure. So it's including relationship, constraints that determine how data can be stored and accessed. So these models are follow some rules and concept of whichever border data model the designer adopt. So how many models are there then? So model is what? It's only logical structure. Within that logical structure, we are store data. So there are types of database model. That means hierarchical database model is there, relational database model is there, network model is there, object-oriented database model is there, no database model is there. And we are focused on relational model only. But we need to understand what's that database model. So that's why I given some details here. The first one is a hierarchical database model. That hierarchical model organizes data into tree-like structure, where each record has a single parent or root. So it's a stored data in a tree structure. That's called hierarchical database model. After that, we are discuss relational model later. After that, network database model is there. So what means a network database model? It builds on hierarchical model by allowing many to many relationship between linked records. It's based on mathematical set theory. And set theory means what? A uniqueness. So that's a database model, network database model. After that, we have object-oriented database model. So what means object-oriented? We are learn object-oriented programming, right? So this model defines database as a collection of objects or reusable software elements with associated features and methods. That's called object-oriented database models. After that, there are NoSQL database model. So what means a NoSQL database model? Let's see. When you want to store a data without tabular form, then that model called NoSQL database model. SQL means what? Structure query language. Which database model are not use structure query language to manipulate the data, then this database model called NoSQL database model. So what's the example of this database model? Graph database is there. Document model is there, which are use MongoDB. So that's the types of database model, and we are going to focus on where relational database model. So what means a relational database model? Suppose you have two tables, like here on your screen. We have two table. One is a suppose one table holding three column student ID, first name and last name. The second table holding two columns provider ID and provider name. And third table holding a student ID column, provider ID column, type of plan and start date, right? So here the first table have a relation with the second table, with the third table, and second table have a relation with the third table. That means what? We have make a relationship in between these three tables, and that's called relational database model. The relational database model sort data into tables, also known as a relation, each of which consists of columns and rows. So that's a relational database model. So to betterly understand relational database model, we need to discuss some things which is available within a relational database model. That is, first one is a database. That's a terminology. So what means a database? Database is a application. That application store a data in a structural form, right? But that terminology is a different. So we are discussing terminology from relational database management system. So database terminology means what? Within that RDBMS, it's a name collection of tables. A database can also contain views, indexes, sequence, data types, operator, and functions. That's a database. So it's a name of collection of tables. After that, there are next terminologies command. What means a command? A command is a string that you send to a server in hopes of having the server do something useful. That means process your command and give you output. After that, query. What means a query? Most of time for query type of command that retrieve data from the server. So that's a query. After that, there are terminology that's a normalization. So what means a normalization? It is a process of organized data into related table. It also eliminates redundancy and increase the integrity, which improve performance of the query. So that's a normalization. So there are not have any difference between query and command. Next, the next terminology is column. What means a column? It is the smallest unit of storage in a relational database. A column represents one piece of information about an object. Every column has a name and data types. Columns are grouped into rows and rows are grouped into tables. The next terminology is what? Row. A row is a collection of column values. Every row in a table has the same shape. If you are trying to model a real world application, a row represent real world object. For example, if you are running a auto dealership, you might have a vehicle table. Each row in vehicles table represent vehicles. The kind of information that you store are the same for all vehicles. That's a vehicle ID, vehicle color, a vehicle engine model. So that's a row. And within row, data are stored, that means records are stored in a tuple form. After that, the client terminology. So what means a client terminology? When we are think about relational database management system, there are a number of vendors are provide that relational database management system applications. For example, PostgreSQL, which we are going to learn. So within PostgreSQL or any relational database application platform, there are two kinds available. One is a client, one is a server. So what means a server? Server is that application which actually store your data, and that server not have any graphical user interface. It's only a console based application. It's only console based application. And to communicate that console based application, we required some graphical user interface tool or either any console based interface tool. For that reason, we have client application. So server application is a different, client application is a different. Server application we are install on a server, and client application it's in our side. That's we can communicate with that database server. For example, if you are install PostgreSQL, the server not have any graphical user interface systems, but client application provide the way to communicate with that server, database server. And there are two types of client applications are there. The first type is what? Console based. That means using a console, it is a possible that you can communicate a database application, server application, or you can go with a graphical user interface. So there are two ways are there to communicate with the database server. That's either you can use a client application console based, or either you can go with a graphical user interface. For example, if you're aware of MySQL, MySQL have a MySQL workbench. It's a graphical user interface. PHP MyAdmin, it's a graphical user interface to communicate a database server, right? Next. After that, next terminology is a foreign key. So what means a foreign key? Before that, we can discuss primary key. Okay. So there are two terminology: primary key and foreign key. What means a primary key? Suppose you have a table. To identify your table row, we require unique item that identify rows in a table. So a primary key is a column in a table that uniquely identifies the row in that table. So that means primary key. That means primary key. After that,
అదే నా అన్నయ్య ఫోన్ అంటే ఇచ్చిన అందరికి తీసుకోండి రాయడం విషయమేనా నువ్వు మళ్ళీ ఎందుకు అదే జిమ్ కోటండి.
okay. After that, we need to discuss foreign key. So when we have two tables, one table have a relationship with another table, then both table have a primary keys, right? But to make a relationship with we require to use a first table primary key within a second table as a foreign key. So a foreign key is a column in the table whose values correspond to the values of primary key in another table. So that's a foreign key. After that, last one is view. So views are virtual tables. They are only structure and contain no data. Their purpose is to allow a user to see a subset of actual data. So a view can consist of subset of one table. That's the terminology we need to understand from relational database management system. After that, why that no SQL is required? Sorry, SQL is required. SQL are required to execute query against the database, to retrieve a data from a database, to insert a data into database, to update a records from a database, to delete the records from a database, to create new database or create a new table within a database, to create procedures and views in a database, to set permission on a tables and procedure and views from a database. We require structure query language. So that's the purpose of structure query language. But before write any structure query language, we need to understand some points. For example, look here. There are number of database applications are there, right? So not all data types are supported every relational database vendor. For example, Oracle database, student, just wait for that external sound. I mute myself. So we need to wait till it's pass. Student, just wait. You can raise your questions till that waiting time. Raise your question till that waiting time. Okay. So before move into a deep dive into SQL programming language, we need to resolve that some issues. from chat box. You are right that Yash are right that can student ID be example of primary? Look here. First, I'm open my table. That's a table. The first table holding three column: student ID, first name, last name. So that student ID from that a table is a primary key. After that, we have second table that's hold two columns. One is a provider ID, second one is a provider name. So provider ID is a primary key from second table. After that, we have third table. The third table holding four columns. The first column is a student ID. So when we are use a first table primary key in a third table, then that third table a columns called holding a foreign key. When we are use any other table primary key in any other table, then it's called foreign key. So using that thing, we are making relation with the first table to a third table. After that, within a second table, we have provider ID. It's a primary key of second table. And that primary key we are used within a third table. That means we are making a relationship of second table with a third table using a foreign key. So I hope you understand what means a foreign key, what means a primary key. Yes, is it done? Shrusti and yes. Okay. So next question from Abdul Nabi Siraj. He is explaining something. Okay. So students, please wait. Yes, I will recap that all things from within a Marathi. Please wait till silent external sounds. Okay, so let's continue. So the important points from SQL. Hmm? So there are a number of vendors, and every vendor are store data in structure query format. That's which are follow relational database management system. But they have their own SQLs. That means they are modified their SQLs. That data types like Oracle database doesn't support date time data type. MySQL doesn't support globe data type. So while designing database schema and writing SQL queries, make sure to check if the data types are supported or not. Second thing is what? The data types. Every database provider, that means database vendor, have their own data types. After that, every relational database vendor has its own maximum size limit for different data types. And you don't need to remember the limit. Idea is to have to knowledge of what data type to be used in a specific scenario. So that points we need to remember for all when we are work with the relational database management system applications. Okay. So SQL command. When we write a query, that's also called command, right? So this query or command are split into number of types. So using that, it can be easily managed. But before that, I'll just recap these all points within Marathi. So आपण काय डिस्कस केलं की डेटाबेस म्हणजे काय? डेटाबेस म्हणजे काय की एक असं स्टोरेज जिथे आपण डेटा स्टोअर करू शकतो ठराविक फॉर्ममध्ये आणि तो डेटा रिट्राईव्ह, मॉडिफाईड आणि डिलीट करू शकतो. स्ट्रक्चर क्वेरी लँग्वेज किंवा नो एसक्यूएल लँग्वेज वापरून. मग ह्याच्यामध्ये आपण डेटाबेस मॉडेल बघितले. डेटाबेस मॉडेल म्हणजे काय? की डेटाबेस मॉडेल म्हणजे लॉजिकल स्ट्रक्चर जिथे आपण डेटा स्टोअर करतो. त्याला आपण डेटाबेस मॉडेल म्हटलं जातं. मग असे मॉडेलचे खूप सारे टाइप्स आहेत. जसं की हायरार्चिकल आहे, रिलेशनल मॉडेल आहे, नेटवर्क मॉडेल आहे, ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड डेटाबेस मॉडेल आहे, नो एसक्यूएल डेटाबेस मॉडेल आहे. मग याच्यामध्ये आपण फोकस करतोय रिलेशनल डेटाबेस मॉडेलवर. मग रिलेशनल डेटाबेस मॉडेल म्हणजे काय? जर टेबल एकमेकांच्या रिलेशनशिपमध्ये असतील, तर त्या अशा मॉडेलला, अशा स्ट्रक्चरला, टेबल स्ट्रक्चरला आपण काय म्हणतो? रिलेशनल डेटाबेस मॉडेल. म्हणजे काय? रिलेशनल डेटाबेस मॉडेलमध्ये आपण डेटा स्टोअर करताना टेबल फॉर्ममध्ये स्टोअर करतो. आणि ते टेबलचे रोज जर एका टेबलचे रो दुसऱ्या एक टेबल दुसऱ्या टेबलच्या रिलेशनमध्ये असेल, तर त्याला रिलेशनल डेटाबेस मॉडेल म्हणतात. मग हे रिलेशन मेंटेन करायला आपल्याला माहिती पाहिजे काही टर्मिनॉलॉजी. आणि त्या टर्मिनॉलॉजी आपण काय शिकलोत? की डेटाबेस. आता डेटाबेस म्हणजे काय? डेटाबेस म्हणजे एक नाव. आपण टेबलच्या ग्रुपला दिलेलं एक नाव म्हणजे डेटाबेस. त्यानंतर कमांड आणि क्वेरी. कुठलाही डेटा जर आपल्याला प्रोसेस करायचा असेल, स्टोअर करायचा असेल, रिट्राईव्ह करायचा असेल, अपडेट करायचा असेल, तर स्ट्रक्चर क्वेरी लँग्वेजने आपण कमांड किंवा क्वेरी लिहू शकतो. त्याला कमांड म्हटलं जातं किंवा क्वेरी म्हटलं जातं. त्यानंतर नॉर्मलायझेशन प्रोसेस. आपण जेव्हा डेटा ऑर्गनाइज करतो टेबलमध्ये, तेव्हा काही कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी रिड्यूस करण्यासाठी आपण त्याचं सिम्प्लिफिकेशन करतो. दॅट्स अ नॉर्मलायझेशन. आफ्टर दॅट कॉलम आणि रोज. डेटा जेव्हा स्टोअर करतो आपण, तेव्हा आपण हा कॉलममध्ये स्टोअर करतो. आणि प्रत्येक कॉलमला नाव असतं आणि डेटा टाइप असतो. म्हणजे कॉलमला डेटा टाइप आणि नाव असतं, रोजला नाही. आणि कॉलम्स हा ग्रुप कशामध्ये होतो? तर रोजमध्ये ग्रुप होतो. त्यानंतर रोज. रोजमध्ये काय स्टोअर करतो? तर रेकॉर्ड स्टोअर करतो. तो कुठल्या फॉर्ममध्ये असतो? तर टपल फॉर्ममध्ये असतो. म्हणजे एकदा आपण स्टोअर केलं तर तो चेंज होत नाही. So rows is a collection of column values. So that's a rows. त्याच्यानंतर आपण शिकलो क्लायंट म्हणजे काय आणि सर्व्हर म्हणजे काय. हे जे सर्व्हर ॲप्लिकेशन्स असतात, डेटाबेस ॲप्लिकेशन, ते आपण सर्व्हर साइड म्हणजे रिमोट साइडला इन्स्टॉल करतो. मॅक्सिमम हे ॲप्लिकेशन्स विथआऊट GUI असतात किंवा विथआऊट एनी इंटरॅक्शन टूल शिवाय असतात. म्हणजे हे इंडिपेंडंट ॲप्लिकेशन्स आहेत. मग या ॲप्लिकेशनशी कम्युनिकेट करण्यासाठी आपल्याला क्लायंट ॲप्लिकेशनची गरज असते. मग क्लायंट ॲप्लिकेशन म्हणजे काय? असं ॲप्लिकेशन जे आपल्या डेटाबेस सर्व्हरशी कम्युनिकेट करू शकतं, असं ॲप्लिकेशन म्हणजे क्लायंट ॲप्लिकेशन. मग याचं बेस्ट एक्झाम्पल म्हणजे काय? की बेस्ट एक्झाम्पल म्हणजे आपला कन्सोल विंडो, ज्याला आपण कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट म्हणतो. किंवा दुसरं काय एक्झाम्पल असू शकतं? पुट्टी. पुट्टी इज अ नेटवर्क टूल. युजिंग दॅट पुट्टी वी कॅन कम्युनिकेट विथ द सर्व्हर्स. नेक्स्ट एक्झाम्पल काय असू शकतं? ग्राफिकल यूजर इंटरफेस. असे जिओ ॲप्लिकेशन सुद्धा आहेत, जसं की MySQLचं वर्कबेंच आहे, PHP MyAdmin आहे, किंवा Oracleचं SQL डेव्हलपर टूल आहे. मग असे क्लायंट ॲप्लिकेशन असतात, जे कम्युनिकेट करतात डेटाबेस सर्व्हरशी ॲक्चुअली. सो डेटाबेस सर्व्हरला कुठलाही यूजर इंटरफेस नसतो. त्यानंतर फॉरेन की आणि प्रायमरी की काय आहेत हे आपण बघितलं. व्ह्यूज म्हणजे काय? इट्स अ व्हर्चुअल टेबल. आणि हे एक स्ट्रक्चर दर्शवतं. हे एक स्ट्रक्चर दर्शवतं. त्यानंतर आपण बघितलं, की एस-क्यू-एल हे काय आहे? स्ट्रक्चर क्वेरी लँग्वेज आहे. त्याचा उपयोग काय होतो? तर उपयोग क्वेरी किंवा कमांड एक्झिक्यूट करण्यासाठी उपयोग होतो. डेटा रिट्राईव्ह करण्यासाठी, इन्सर्ट करण्यासाठी, अपडेट करण्यासाठी, डिलीट करण्यासाठी उपयोग होतो. डेटाबेसचे परमिशन्स सेट करण्यासाठी उपयोग होतो. त्यानंतर इम्पॉर्टंट पॉइंट्स, खूप सारे डेटाबेस प्रोव्हायडर आहेत, जसे की ओरॅकल आहे, MySQL आहे, MariaDB आहे, PostgreSQL आहे. हे प्रत्येक प्रोव्हायडर कडे एसक्यूएल हे एक्सटेंडेड टाइप मध्ये, म्हणजे त्यांनी त्याचा स्वतःचा एसक्यूएल एक्सटेंड केलेला आहे आणि हे एक्सटेन्शन करताना त्यांनी काही डेटा टाइप्स त्यांचे स्वतःचे इन्क्लूड केलेले आहेत. त्यामुळे प्रत्येक डेटाबेस यूज करताना स्ट्रक्चर क्वेरी लँग्वेज जरी तीच असली तरी प्रत्येकाचा डेटाबेस आणि काही प्रमाणात सिंटॅक्स हा वेगळा असू शकतो, कीवर्ड्स हे वेगळे असू शकतात. तर ही गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवायची. ओके, नेक्स्ट. आता हे जे काही कमांड्स किंवा क्वेरी आपण म्हणतो, हे कमांड किंवा क्वेरी काही टाइपमध्ये कॅटेगराइज केलेले आहेत. कॉमनली 5 टाइप्स आहेत त्याचे. ते 5 टाइप म्हणजे DDL, DML, DQL, DCL and TCL. So we need to discuss that 5 types. So what means types of SQL commands? SQL commands are broadly categorized into 5 types. DDL stand for data definition language. The purpose of DDL is what? Defines database structure. That's a table and schema. The DML is what? DML, data manipulation language. It is used to manipulate data like insert, update, delete. These commands we are used there. DQL, it's stand for data query language. It's queries a data using a select command or select query. After that, DCL there. DCL stand for data control language. It's a control access to a data. For example, command is a grant and revoke to set permissions. After that, TCL is there. It's called transaction control language. So it's a control transaction. For example, commit, stages, and rollback. That commands we are used within TCL. So SQL commands are categorized into that 5 types. So is it done? Did you understand SQL command? So that commands are divided, categorized in 5 types. One is a DDL. It stands for data definition language. It is used to define database structure like tables and schemas. DML, data manipulation language. It's manipulates the data. The commands are used insert, update, delete. DQL stand for data query language. So its purpose is queries the data like select command. DCL, data control language. It's useful to control access to a data like a grant and revoke. Using that we are set a permission for user. TCL, it stands for transaction control language. It's a control transaction. For example, commit, rollback. That's the commands are useful within that types of SQL commands categories. Is any question regarding DDL, DML, TCL, DCL, DQL? Okay, so I go through chat. So there are one question from Anuradha. Can you tell difference between MySQL, NoSQL, relational database management system? Okay, look here. What means a model? What means a model? Model means what? It is a logical structure where we are store a data with a particular schema. For example, relational database management system. It is a model. Within that model, we are store a data in tabular form. So tabular form have a columns and rows, right? And when we are store that data within a tabular form, then that's called a table. So there are number of table, and that table have a relationship with each other, and that's why that model called relational database management system. Is it clear, Anuradha? What means RDBMS? Okay, after that. So there are lots of companies use that model. There are lots of companies use that model. For example, Oracle are created their own model using relational database management system, and Oracle created their own applications using a relational database management system. The MariaDB created their own application using relational database management system. So they are using that RDBMS model. MySQL uses relational database management system. So they are use their own application, which are based on relational database management system. So did you understand the applications and model? What's the difference between applications and model? So MySQL is a type of application which are based on relational database management system. Okay, after that, third one, NoSQL. What means a NoSQL? It is a model. The model represent the logical structure how you can store a data. So within a NoSQL, that means what? There are not use SQL language, structure query language to manipulate a data. That means insert, update, create, delete, whatever. So they are use their own different things like a document, like a graph. So they are not use SQL. So that's why it says NoSQL model. So is it clear, Anuradha? What means NoSQL? Okay. Is any question regarding that theoretical concept of database management system and relational database management system? Okay. So we can move on PostgreSQL then. Please raise a question if you are not able to install PostgreSQL. Is there any issue to install a PostgreSQL? Is there any issue to install a PostgreSQL? Amida, in our last conversation, you are say you are not use laptop and desktop. So without a laptop and desktop, there are not have any solution to install PostgreSQL. But you can use uh, online things. That means I share one link there, JDoodle. JDoodle have a features to use structure query language, but its scope is limited. After that, Sukanya. Okay, just a minute. I'm going to stop my screen. So we are going to solve Sukanya's issues. Just- Okay, please share your screen, Sukanya. Okay, Sukanya, before click anywhere, please tell me what's the problem to install. That means your installation are terminate abnormally, or it's stuck in any phase. Okay. So Sukanya are not able to install PostgreSQL in a classical way, in a easiest way. So I'm going to give another solution for Sukanya. So instead, to install that PostgreSQL in a classical way, we can use some advanced way. So students, please attention here. I'm going to show you how to install PostgreSQL in advanced way if you are unable to install it with a installer. Okay, please see that things. So I'm going to show you. Okay, so share my screen, all screen. So I hope my screen are visible to you. I need to save resources, so I just close my PPT first. Okay, so I hope my screen are visible and voice are audible. Is it? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so first thing, uh, please visit PostgreSQL official website. So that's the official website, right? That's the official website. I want to download PostgreSQL. So let's click to download. They are provide a number of package and installer. So what the things we require? Windows, right? So I select the Windows. From that Windows, let's search where is zip archive. Where is zip archive? So it's an advanced way that you. Why I want to show that advanced way, because when you write any application, you need to full control on your tools, and for that reason we need to learn some advanced things regarding our tools, that whatever tool we are use. So zip archive is there, right? So let's click that zip archive. From that zip archive, which version we required? Uh, we required 16.9. It's a most stable version. So Windows x64 8664, that package I want to download. So it's downloaded, right? Is it? So it's going to download it. So I already have that package. So I just cancel it. And I will install the latest version, that is a 17.5. So that's it's to download. It's required just 1 minute maximum. Okay, let's complete. Okay, I downloaded that zip file. I just copy my zip file and place on that destination where I have a more space. So with my drive within a softwares, I can create one folder. That folder name is a folder. What's the name? PostgreSQL. That's a folder name. And which version I am downloaded here? It's a 17. Hmm? Okay. I use date also. It's a 2nd July 25. Okay. So here within that folder, I want to paste my zip file. So it's paste right now. I need to extract that zip file. Otherwise, I can't able to configure. To extract that zip file, don't use any Windows tool like Windows have some tool extract all that extract zip file. Don't use any Windows tool. You can use some external application. Why? Because Windows tool are not able to extract a large file data, and we have that file that's almost 300 MB. So instead of Windows tool, I can use WinRAR. So extract here. So I'm use extract here from WinRAR. Please notice that things to extract that zip file, I'm use some external applications. I'm not use Windows extractor tool. Done. Now once we are extract that zip file, we have a folder PGSQL. Let's open that folder. Open that folder. Within that folder, there are two folders are there, bin and lib. What? Bin and lib, right? Within that folder, I need to create one another folder. That name is data. What's the name? Data. In a small case, data. So data folder I created there. Currently it's empty. We are not fill anything within a data. It's a empty. Now the first thing is first, I need to set my system environment. After create data folder, I need to create set system environment. I just want to check is my voice is audible and screen are visible to you. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so now we need to set system environment. Why it is required to set system environment? Look here, when we are use our system, we are use some hardware, and to interact that hardware, we have our operating system. That operating system may be a Linux, Mac, or Windows, or any other operating system. So here, the operating system interact our hardware, but operating system are not aware about our programming languages or databases. So we need to tell operating system that I'm use that programming language, that particular database. And for that reason, we required to set system environment variable. So is it clear why system environment variable is required? Now, let's see how we can set system environment variable. So for that reason, I just use Windows and R. I press Windows and R key. Within that run utility, I write sysdm.cpl. So I just want to open property dialog box from my system. So there are number of ways to open property dialog box. I use always simple and easiest tool. So that's a run utility. So I open, that's a system property dialog box are open. Within that system property dialog box, there are advanced tab is there. What's tab name? Advanced tab. Within the advanced tab, environment variable button is there. So let's click that environment variable button. That environment variable button holding two panels. One is a user panel and second one is a system variable panel. And we need to set system variable, not user variable. So that's why here within a system variable panel, we need to check the path. Check path. Path is a variable. So that path holding that all path which is required to understand by our system. So let's select that path. Click to edit button. Click to edit button. Once you are click to edit button, look here. There are number of things. I already done my installation for older installation. So I just want to remove that all things. So it will be a new one. Okay. So I'm going to remove that all things. Delete. Let's check is any. Okay. Now we don't have any database part. Okay. Now let's click to new. Within that new, we need to store a path of our bin folder. So bin folder are open. Copy that path and paste that path in a new. Done. After that, we require to set lib path also. So let's move in our folder. Lib folder is there. Let's open. Copy that folder path and to create new environment variable path and paste our lib path. Right. After that, we are created data folder. Where is our data folder? Within a PGSQL. Data folder is there. Let's open that data folder, copy that path and paste it within a environment variable for new. It's a data folder path, right? Okay. After that, let's switch to our folder. There are pgadmin 4. So what means a pgadmin 4? It is a graphical user interface tool. That's a client application to interact with our database server. So that things we require. From that things, Python admin 4, admin. It's a pgadmin. Sorry, runtime. Let's check runtime. From pgadmin, the runtime is there, and I need to store that runtime path. Who are muted me frequently? Are you understand how to set environment variable? Okay, I'm going to write those steps on notepad. It's a steps. You need to follow that steps. Step one is what? Download. Zip archive. Hmm? Step two. Extract it. Like WinRAR, which I am using. Step three. Switch to extracted folder. That is what's his name? Its name is PGSQL. That is PGSQL. That's our folder name. Huh? So you need to switch into that folder. Fourth step, create data folder. Which folder? Create data folder. Hmm? The fifth step, press Windows button plus R button. I hope you are aware about Windows button. Within your keyboard, there are Windows button. That's symbol is four squares. Windows plus R, right? Six. To open run utility. Six number. Six number. After run utility, enter 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 sysdm.cpl to open system property. Seventh number step. What's the seventh number step? Where is our Windows R sysdm.cpl? Go to advanced tab and click to environment variable button. It's advanced or advanced? Advanced. And click environment variables button. Okay. After that, 8 number step. There are two panels. From system variables panel, select path and click to edit. Okay. And click to edit, right? Where? Path. And click to edit. Here, within that path, let's set bin lib data and runtime folder path. PGSQL folder. So here we are set bin lib data and runtime folder path from PGSQL folder. Once you are done that things, the 10th number. The 10th number. Click OK. Make a backside. Create one system variable. That name is a PG data. What's the name? PG data. It's in capital. PG data. PG data. And within that PG data, set our data folder path. So what's our data folder path? It's our data folder. So let's open data folder, copy a path, and that path I'm going to paste within my PG data. So my data is available here. Okay. So PG data, that system variable I created here. How to create system variable? Click to new. Write here PG data as a variable name, and value is absolute path of data folder. That's the value. Okay. Once you are done that things, click OK. Click OK. OK. And close our system property dialog box. So I hope you understand that 11 steps. Is it? Wait, after complete that steps, I will copy and paste. Okay. So till we have 11 steps, and that 11 steps is posted on our chat box. So students, did you understand that 11 steps? That how we can set environment variable? Can we move? Okay. Okay. So once we are set, environments, after that, let's switch to a console window. So 12 number step, open a console window. Console, or it says CMD. Hmm? Console or CMD. Check version using command. That command that command is Postgres hyphen version. So that's a command. Postgres hyphen version. Okay. After that, mm, if it is show that version like that, then your Postgres are installed perfectly. That means Postgres environment variable are set perfectly. After that, we need to configure our data folder. Huh? So to configure data folder, you need to write one command. That command I need to write first here. Now it's a time to configure data folder. So here I'm going to configure data folder. And for that reason, what's the command I'm use here? That command I enter in a double quote. You can use without double quote. So the path of my initdb.exe. So the path of initdb.exe. So initdb.exe. That means it's a binary. So let's open binary. Initdb.exe is here. I want to check path. Copy path. Show more options. Copy path. Copy as path. Paste that path here first. Hmm. Okay. So that command that I DB utility I want to run with a username. That username is a Postgres. That username is Postgres, and the password and a password. So password -e and a schema. I required schema. That's a UTF-8 schema I require -w, and I store data directory -d and data directory path. Where is the data directory? It's here. That's my data directory, right? So once I complete these things, I need to copy that command, excluding that double quote, and paste it on my console. Hit enter. So it's enter new super user password. It's asking. So I make a simple 123 is my password. Enter it again. 123. So it's a configure my data directory. So 14. Password 15. Sixteen. It's done. So that save. Okay. That steps I want to share with you. So please follow that steps to configure PostgreSQL on your machine if it is not installed by installer. If it is not installed by installer, please configure your PostgreSQL manually. It's advanced steps, and I'm share that steps with you on our chat box. Now, after that, after install that PostgreSQL, I want to start it. How to start? So step 1, open command prompt. Step 2, enter command. That command I am right here. pg-ctl-l log file. Enter command to start a database. If you want to restart, then enter command to restart. If you want to stop, enter command to a stop. So that's the commands to start, stop, and restart your database. So I'm going to share that things with you. And I'm going to use one of command, that is a pgctl -l log file start. So just copy my first command, open console window, cls, and paste that command here and start my database. So it's saying waiting for server to start. Stop waiting. It could not start. Restart it again. Now it is started. No, it's not started. Let's close my console, reopen it. What? Reopen it. Right? pg ctl -l log file and start. Now it's started. So I hope you understand how to start, how to configure PostgreSQL manually if that your installer it's not working on your side. So that all step I share with you. So is it done? Now the next thing. Next thing. Next thing is what? How to use GUI client. That name is what? pgadmin 4. That's the name. That's the name, right? So that's the name, pgadmin 4. So how to use GUI client or how to open GUI client? How to open GUI client? How to open GUI client application? Open. pg pgadmin 4 folder. Second. There are run time is there. So that things open for so I'm going to share that steps. Look here, I use my absolute path. You need to enter your absolute path when you need to execute I need db.exe. That I need .db.exe holding my own path. You require to write your path where I need db.exe are present. So students, I hope you understand that steps. So now if I open, it's a started my server. If I open that exe pgadmin4, so I make a shortcut. So send, first check I have that exe on my local side or not. So I'm going to check it first. Look here, once you have started a server, don't close it. Just minimize it. Don't close it. So let's check pgadmin is available or not. That's a previous pgadmin. I just want to delete it. So it's deleted and create a new shortcut. Send to show mode. Send to desktop. And that's my PostgreSQL client-side application. That's a graphical user interface client-side application. So it's going to open at first time. Yes, you need to write that path from your local disk where you are store that I need db.exe. So I'm going to share that window. Look here, that's a server. I just click it. It's a local server and database are present there. That's user is a PostgreSQL. The user is PostgreSQL. So I hope you are understand how to install PostgreSQL manually with a archive file. So now, before a move on PostgreSQL, that all installation steps I'm going to share with you. Just please wait. That already share on our in a text form. I want to share on video form. Please wait. I need to end meeting to share that, but I can check. So yesterday, it's today, right? Okay, today's link are not created here. So students, are you able to configure PostgreSQL manually using shared steps, or still you are facing some issues?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, could you share today's installation video on YouTube
Yes,
channels,
yes,
sir?
yes. That's why I'm check that link are created there or not. It may be create when I stop my meeting. So is it possible everyone can join meeting again? So I will end and create new. So it will be create a video. Can we do? Okay. So to create that video, I'm going to end this meeting. Before that, just download attendance list. Okay. Now stop sharing and end this meeting.